Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Alongside Rodney Martin, I'm Brad Woznicki. Findlay right now a perfect 7-0. Southview, one blemish on their record and 6 wins. The Cougars have won 5 in a row coming in here. This is going to be one heck of an environment and should be a great matchup.
This will be a great matchup. I was excited about watching this game because of the different styles of play. You have 2 big guys for Southview, and then Findlay will spread you out and try to go by you, and then they run a ton of sets. So I'm excited about this game here tonight.
Well, as they are introduced, let's get into the starting lineups for tonight's game. Brought to you by Dallas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at DallasBuickGMC.com. First for the visiting Cougars, Jerron Witcher, Zach Carter, Joey Zobrist, Max Powers, and leading scorer Micah Bays. For the Findlay Trojans, who are 2-0 all-time against the Southview team here in their home gym. Trojans will go with Luke Wyrau, Ben Best, Sam Ernst, Javante Hill, and Will Cordonnier. Like Southview, there are a lot of familiar faces back for Findlay from a season ago. And Findlay, having seen them just a couple of weeks ago right before Christmas against Whitmer, they play as a unit.
Yes, they do. You can tell by the way they play defense. They're all connected and communicating. All 5 guys can push the ball in transition. They play unselfish. So they got a very good team here in Findlay.
Before we get this one underway, how about our keys for tonight's game presented by Buckeye Broadband? Rodney, what are you looking for on both sides?
Well, for Findlay, I'm looking at them to try to do their best to contain Micah. They're going to play control the tempo and the pace, and then they're rebounding. As for Southview, they got to stick to their defensive principles because Findlay runs so many sets of back doors and those type of things, so you have to stick to your defensive principles. You are also for Southview, you got to handle that pressure because they want to turn it over and then limit them to second chance shots.
Opening tip won by the Cougars. Off the screen, able to dump it down. 3 from the left wing. Grazed the iron, but there to clean it up and get Southview on the board first. There's Max Powers.
And this is what I was talking about. They play with 2 big guys, so they could be able to crash the boards very well tonight.
You and I are wondering who's going to be that 3rd and 4th scorer tonight for Southview. We know what Jerron Witcher's going to do, and we certainly know what Micah Bays can do any time out.
Yeah, and like I had him earlier against Perrysburg, you're still wondering who that 3rd guy is going to be for him.
Long outlet up ahead and unable to finish the layup. That's one that Zach Carter would like back.
That was a great outlet by Bays. Got his head up and looked up the floor.
Findlay last time out, a 9-point win over St. Mary's. That was their closest outcome this season, but they were in control of that game early on in the 4th, leading by 19. St. Mary's tightened things up a little bit down the stretch, but Findlay has been winning by a large margin so far in their 7 games. And a nifty finish there, able to go off the window. Will Cordonnier, 20 points a game.
Here's that full court press that wants to get Findlay started.
Micah Bays, 20 points a game. Also go along with 7 rebounds and 2 steals a game. Last time these 2 teams met was back in the 2022 MLK Showcase at Rossford High School. Findlay came out on top 65-52, and there's more second chance points for Southview.
There you go, crashing the board. But yeah, that's nothing exciting, nothing unknown because Micah averages 7 rebounds a game for a point guard.
Those kind of buckets that as a scorer can just get you going.
Yes, yeah, and you don't want that to happen.
Well, last time, again, going back to that matchup against Whitmer, took a while for Antoine West to really get things to go down because a lot of his shots were from the outside. They weren't falling. Really didn't get that bucket to get him going.
And Findlay plays great team defense. They're in the gaps together, they're communicating, and they're pressing the ball very, very well.
And loose basketball, Bays, 2 defenders there, and he is tied up. No, we got a timeout Southview first. Almost 2.5 minutes into this opening quarter. This timeout brought to you by Genoa Bank. We take your banking needs personally. 4-2 Cougars. Both of their buckets so far coming on the offensive glass.
They have to be concerned about that this evening.
Take you through the entire season for Southview. Opened up, dominant win over Waite. Then had that one loss to Anthony Wayne, 58-53 was the final. bounce back in the Battle of Sylvania, getting a 3-point win, holding on there against the Wildcats. You noted the impressive win over Perrysburg, 49-46. Bowling Green, a 10-point win. And Clay, an overtime win. Maybe a little bit of a surprise there that things were as tight as they were. But Clay has been an improved team this year. A lot of guys contributing in that effort.
Lionel Armstead's doing a heck of a job over there at Clay.
Lionel Armstead, the former head coach at Emmanuel Christian, in his first season now at Clay. Most recent game for Southview was the win over Rogers, 59-43. And trying to throw it down was Bays. Opportunity here for Findlay.
That was a nice backdoor play by Southview.
Corner three. And Findlay has yet to hit from distance. Had a couple of looks from there. Javante Hill, the first time, that time it was Ben Best. Carter's pass deflected, recovered. If you're Southview tonight, you're going to have to be comfortable being patient at the offensive end. And a little flop there, no whistle. Jerron Witcher scores it.
We talked about the different styles. Southview plays with two big guys. Hill was guarding Witcher, and he just took his time and went ahead and put him in the basket.
Jerron Witcher averages a near double-double, 11 points, 9 boards. And the lay-in, Cordonnier's got all 4 for the Trojans. Southview able to handle the press as we near the midway point of the first quarter. Had that been a clean pass, might have been a 3 right away. It's still a 3, and drained by Micah Bays.
That was a good secondary transition pass to Bays in the trail spot.
Findlay might have been surprised to see him catch and just let that one go right away, but it doesn't matter where he's on the floor. Cordonnier, can he answer? Yes, sir.
He's going to do that. He shot the ball well from 3 last year. He added putting the ball in the deck, going to the basket. So he's going to bring those big guys out and say, hey, can you play out here?
Cordonnier's 9-3 of the season, 33%, and rattling it home this time. Tell you what, Micah Bays feeling good early.
Can they contain Michael Bays? And here again, like we said earlier, who's going to be that third guy?
If this turns into an offensive showdown, who do you give the edge to?
Ooh, that's tough, considering you're playing here and Philly's at home.
Oh my, 3 in a row? No, just off the mark for Bays. Giving it up, and the 3 blocked by Witcher, recovered. Pump fake and bucket. Good job to stay with it by Sam Ernst, the 6-foot senior.
Yeah, he didn't give up on the shot after it got blocked. Get the ball in the middle. Look opposite. Somebody's got to go middle.
Ernst so good at just finding his way into the game. Doesn't force a lot. He averages 8 points a game.
Slip.
And Witcher, good look to Carter. One more pass. And off the mark with that pass. Southview turnover. Can Findlay take advantage? Javante Hill full speed the other way. He'll shoot 2.
It's a 3-point game, and if you're really paying attention, although Findlay's down, they're getting a lot of deflections on these passes. So eventually hopefully they're going to turn into fast break points for those guys.
If Javante Hill gets out and runs like that, you better get in front of him to try and slow him up. Otherwise, you might end up on a poster. Just as I say that, he comes up with the air ball on the free throw, but he was number 2 on SportsCenter for the follow-up dunk he had against Whitmer. That was one of 3 dunks that night.
That was a heck of a play.
Second free throw. 0 for 2 at the line. And it's going to be Southview basketball. Javante Hill, normally a pretty good free throw shooter, 78% coming in.
Flash move.
And Bays got one man in front of him, goes right into the body of Cordonnier. Smart.
He's very smart. He took the block away. He went into his body so that way he could eliminate the jumping and everything else, and then try to get it high off the glass. He took that. That was a very smart play by him.
Bays' last game, 21 points, 7 assists, 9 boards, and 3 steals. An all-around performance in that win over Rogers.
He's playing so different this year, and I love the relationship that I'm seeing between him and Springs. Springs is a heck of a point guard in his own right, so he's passing on that knowledge to that young man.
And his scoring about the same as it was a season ago, but his rebounding numbers have also gone up. Micah Bays already has 10 of Southview's 14 points. Cordonnier guarded by Powers. Turnaround. And Southview will live with that shot. He probably had one more dribble there, and he's where he needs to be.
Well, he's really comfortable on the other block, so this right here, he's going to come back to his left shoulder.
And Bays fouled on the three-point attempt by Wyrow.
You don't want to send him to the line and let him start seeing that bad boy go in, because that basket gets real big for him.
That is one foul apiece on Cordonnier and on Wyrow. If you can get those two in foul trouble, you're going to test the depth of this Findlay team. They only go about 6 or 7 deep.
And that's what we talked about prior to the game when they came in. I was looking at it like, they've got 7 guys, so they can't get into foul trouble.
And those two orchestrate so much for this team. They're both double-figure guys. And one more. Parker Sears just checking in for Southview. Off the back rim. Bays, cross-court look. That would have been a 2 had it gone down.
And you can tell that Dennis has talked to, Coach Springs has talked a lot about communication, because you can see the guys pointing and everything in transition.
Got Sears and Ingram on the floor now for Southview, and a nice finish underneath by Javante Hill. I like the way he just glides to the basket.
You got to be there to help, so he can't get those easy buckets driving down the lane. You have to go ahead and stun it and help out.
Diving for the loose basketball, Wyrow. He's tied up by Bays.
Another deflection. And I love, they get on the floor, they dive for every loose ball, they going after every 50-50 ball.
Hill hammered as he got in the lane.
And the crazy thing about it, they had scouted it. You can see Bays was already there for the rotation. He was there, set for it. You didn't have to reach in and foul him right there. You had teammates coming over to help you.
Well, Javante Hill 0 for 2 on his first trip. His season numbers, 17 points, 5 rebounds a game. Two out of 2 on this trip. And Powers, a short rest. He comes in for Jerron Witcher. Sears attacking the basket, ball loose again. Staying with Southview this time. Cougars will have it out on the baseline. And Dylan Morrow will make his first appearance.
He's a good shooter from outside.
Bring him out on the floor, help space things out, might open up a couple of driving lanes.
You can't stand there. You guys, offensively, you have to move, because they're just zoned up, lining it up.
Ingram finds Bays. He'll go to the corner for Carter.
The rotation is perfect.
Straight away 3. No. Rims out. Offensive rebound. Put back good. Dylan Morrow.
Comes right in. And I talked about him shooting the basketball. He said, no, coach, I can also rebound.
2-possession game. Under 30 seconds to play, first quarter. Try to get the post up to Cordonnier. This time Southview got a hand on it. And we get a Findlay foul. And I believe that's number 2 on Cordonnier. It is.
It is. It is.
And Jim Rookie's going to bring back Ben Best. We'll see how long Cordonnier is on the bench.
It's going to be, well, one of the things you do know is that you have, Ryan Montgomery down there, so he's a physical young man, so he can bang with you down there in the block with Powers.
Southview the opportunity to hold for the final shot. Wyra out on base. 3. Short that time. Tipped around. Morrow's got it. The follow one more time, Micah Bays. 14 points in the first 8 minutes for Micah Bays. And Southview leads by a touchdown at the end of 1.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And by Sean's Irish Tavern. Locally owned and operated.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Find out why Midas has over 100,000 5-star reviews. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Sean's Irish Taverns offer great food and fun in a family sports bar atmosphere. And if you're looking for great burgers, steaks, salads, soups, and pizza, we've got you covered. Watch the biggest games every day with awesome food and drink specials. Looking for a banquet room for special parties? Sean's can take care of you. We're locally owned and operated and are proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community. Stop into any of the Sean's Irish Taverns today. Just sit back and let us serve you.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Find out why Midas has over 100,000 5-star reviews. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Now, Dennis Springs, Southview Cougars off to a good start, especially at the offensive end. And Micah Bays, 14 of Southview's 20 points. It's been his outside shooting and Southview's second chance points.
And that's one of the game keys we were talking about for Findlay. Control the rebound.
And Cordonnier is back out there with those 2 personal fouls. Wyrow gets a look at a 3. Almost banked it in. Southview's got a chance here maybe to go up double digits in the opening minute of the second quarter.
Running a horn set. Got him on the flare.
He had him.
He had him. He just had to be patient. And that's rare for a Findlay because normally they're defensively on the string. It's very rare that they get backdoored, and that's 2 of them that we've seen in this game.
Wyrow left wing, putting it on the floor. Backdoor option was not there. Javante Hill trying to 3. And that's smart there by Bays. He's not giving up that backdoor. Yep. He's going to force Javante Hill to try to beat him from distance.
I was just about to say that. You could tell they've done a very good job of scouting because he was sitting there waiting for the backdoor. At the same time, he would have been able to contest the jump shot.
Ingram, good look. Shot blocked by Cordonnier.
Here it comes.
Javante Hill will get the lay-in.
And you can't have those defensive lapses. That's what Coach Springs is talking about, defensive principles. You have to carry over. You can't give up second transition buckets that easy.
Zobrist disrupted him just enough to make sure that wasn't a dunk. It's back to a 2-possession game.
I actually thought he was going to try to go for it anyway.
It's nice to have that ability, right?
Yes. What we used to do.
You used to do, let's be clear. Good look at a 3. It's Southview. Not that time. The 2 threes for the Cougars, both coming from Micah Bays. Two minutes into the second, Javante Hill off the crossover. Got in the lane. It's going to stay at this end. Here comes Witcher, and here comes Carter.
Right there, they had a ball screen up top, and it's kind of difficult. It's very difficult to guard ball screens in the middle of the floor. So he rejected the ball screen, went downhill. You normally don't help out of corners, so it was on the other side of the defensive principle for them to help.
Wyrow forces his way inside, and the Findlay football commit goes off glass. his first points.
I love his toughness. And well, you can see it translates for football.
It was all state. Carter found Witcher. Well, Bays got the space. Hill the board. Hill going right at Carter. Good job by Carter to hold his ground.
Yes, he did. He took it in the chest.
And that's part of Zach Carter's game. He's going to guard the opponent's best player, and he has accepted that challenge from the start of the season.
Montgomery almost got one. He put his hands all in powers back right there.
Witcher goes at Hill. Long pass up ahead. Ernst able to keep it in bounds. Montgomery trying to three. Well off the mark with that one.
Coach Springs said, slow that down. Let's go ahead and let's run us a good set. I'm waiting on Witcher because he's got 2 attempts, but he needs some more right now, considering that the matchup he has. Way to read it. I should have went the other way. The defense just jumped to the ball that way.
Southview still looking for their first points of the quarter. Zach Carter had it blocked by Hill. Ends up in the hands of Witcher, who couldn't finish it. Gets another chance. And it's Findlay basketball with a Southview foul.
You've got to figure out how to score because you don't want Findlay to get the lead. It's almost like playing Findlay is almost like playing start with Matt. They get the lead. They are very good at controlling tempo and pace at that time.
Season number 25 for Jim Rookie. 371 wins as the head coach for the Trojans.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Well, right now, he and Dave Boyce, both 20-plus years at the helms of their respective programs. And Perrysburg and Findlay still have to meet for a Buckeye Division showdown. Perrysburg tonight taking on Central Catholic at Central. Cordonnier to the corner. That's a three to tie it up.
That ball got inside. That's the best way to shoot threes. It's by some way, shape, form. It got inside. It got kicked out for a three.
Trojans' second three. It comes off the hands of Ernst.
Yep.
And we get an offensive foul.
Dropped the shoulder.
And that's number 1 on Powers' second team foul.
Now here's your concern area right here. You haven't scored, and they're starting to feel it. The engine's starting to run. The crowd's starting to get into it. This is a dangerous time right here.
A 6-0 advantage for Findlay in quarter number 2. We'll be back.
"60 years ago, your grandparents started Appliance Center. Just a little local store, small, just like you. And now Appliance Center furniture and mattresses 10 times larger and growing, just like you.
Will I always get popcorn?
Of course. And everything fun for your home at the best prices in town.
I love my store, Daddy.
From our Appliance Center family to yours, thanks for 60 years.
What is success? Opportunity. Building a better future. Belonging to a supportive community. Life experiences that propel you forward. At Owens Community College, we offer more than 160 programs in career-focused fields and deliver quality higher education that is accessible to all. Your success starts here. Owens Community College. Apply online. Get started at owens.edu.
Findlay basketball coming out of the timeout. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this first half. It's a 7-0 run for the Findlay Trojans so far in this second quarter. Ben Best with the basketball. Javante Hill passes up the three. It's an even better look from distance, a little bit long. Offensive rebound, Ryan Montgomery.
Carter's got to stay down on guard Hill. He got him up in the air, and so now Hill's going downhill.
Javante Hill almost had it tied up, and instead it was just ripped away by Carter. Excellent defense.
Like you said, he takes on the best defender. He's the best perimeter defender.
I mean, that's a guy that was a two-way threat on the football field. Excellent receiver and great in the secondary. Turned over. Bays couldn't connect with his teammate.
I'm not sure if he was. It looked like he was trying to throw that to Witcher, but I was trying to figure out where he was throwing it to. Backdoor play again. Yep, there's it.
Montgomery, no. Offensive rebound, Best out to Ernst. Finley's got the lead with a 10-0 run.
That was a good set run by them. They got the second chance shot, kicked it off for a 3. This is a tough place to play, especially when they get the lead. Switched up that defense on them to a 3-2 zone.
Ernst, a 33% three-point shooter. Bays, offensive foul. He was chest-to-chest with Best, and he didn't like it.
Well, that comes from Wyrell. He's been pressuring him. It doesn't matter who it is. They're all going to be in his face, so he has to be calm, cool, and collected and not get in those type of situations.
And Joey Zobrist returns to the floor. This next minute and a half will be huge. Who's going to have the momentum going into the locker room? Right now, it's all Findlay.
It's the third time they've run that play.
Cordonnier, nice touch.
You can't let him get to a sweet spot. He loves that going over the left shoulder hook.
And everything is operating through Cordonnier right now with that elbow.
Yep, the back door. You're looking for the back door, but at the same time, you got the pin down screen coming on the other side for the shooter.
And Hill knocked it away, diving for it. And it's an over and back call, but that was deflected by Hill.
Yes.
Officials may change this one. In our opinion, they should.
He definitely got a piece of that.
And that ball was poked free on the dribble. And it will be Southview basketball, the right call.
That's a good call. But here again, we're talking about 127 in the game, and it's a 5-point lead. That's a swing right here in this quarter for them. Is that a 12-point swing? They were up 7. Yep.
Mentally, Southview's got to see something go in the basket before halftime. And Montgomery got too much of the arm. That is going to be, for Montgomery, his first, team second.
Right now, if it's a minute 15, I may want to take out Will right now because I don't want him to get his third foul with 1:15 to go. We're already up 5. We run good sets. Let's go ahead and get him out and then go ahead and play him in the third quarter. But that's just me thinking.
Well, and Jim Rookie's maybe thinking, mentally, he's got Cordonnier there. He just has to be smart, trusting him to, not maybe put it on the floor, possibly have a charge. And the way they're operating through him right now, he's not in that position where he would have an offensive foul.
Right, but defensively, if they decide to go, if Southview decides to go in the post, he's got to, got to be smart and wall up and back away.
1 out of 2 for Ingram. Here's Cordonnier, guarded by Powers. They'll let him go one-on-one.
Powers got to figure out a way to get Cordonnier to go over his other shoulder because he's getting comfortable in that block that he likes.
Southview looking to get this back to a one-possession game under a minute. Wyrell slapped it free for a moment.
He plays very good defense. Ooh, is that 5?
All of Findlay agreed with you. Ingram 3.
He's taken 3 of them and hasn't made one yet.
And Ingram coming up limping a bit. May have stepped on a foot after that shot attempt.
Let's see what he runs here with 17. He's taking the last shot. 5 out. Yep. Trying to get downhill, space you out, have a lapse. Back door.
Underneath, Ernst. And time's going to run out in the first half. The Southview Cougars held without a field goal in the second quarter. A 12-1 Findlay advantage sends the Trojans to the locker room, leading 25-21. Still a full half of basketball to be played in two very different quarters so far here on BCSN.
High school sports on BCSN is brought to you by Appliance Center, voted the #1 furniture store for the last 7 years. And by Genoa Bank. We take your banking needs personally.
Hi, I'm Marty Sutter, president of Genoa Bank, a locally owned community bank providing a full range of banking services. At Genoa Bank, we believe a bank should do more than just conduct business. We genuinely care about the communities we serve, and we take our hometown commitment to heart. Our biggest investment will always be in you, whether it's a personal account or business. Genoa Bank is committed to outstanding service. We want to know you by name and help you with all your banking needs. Genoa Bank, we take your banking needs personally.
People used to replace their windows with vinyl, which didn't last. Now, vinyl is being replaced with something scientifically proven to withstand the test of time. Renewal by Andersen's Fibrex material windows. Fibrex material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, beautiful and energy efficient. People love our windows and our exclusive signature service experience, not to mention these incredible savings. Don't miss out on the chance to get beautiful replacement windows at an affordable cost. Call or visit us online today.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
The warning signs leading up to teenage suicide are many. There are always solutions. Suicide is preventable. Even though you may feel lonely, you are not alone. Text 4HOPE to 741-741 now. If you are in crisis, call 911 immediately.
There's a reason Bowling Green State University is ranked #1 in Ohio for student experience. Our in-demand degrees and life design program prepares students for their first career and their next. With an unparalleled support system at a national research university, BGSU offers an unrivaled experience, all on a vibrant campus in one of America's best college towns. It's also why Bowling Green State University is the #1 school in the Midwest that students would choose again for the 4th year in a row.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
Ho, ho, ho. Santa Parker here from Car Stereo 1. It's holiday gift-giving time. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, my Santa impression stinks. Anyways, want to be a hero this holiday? Get him a Car Stereo 1 remote car starter and save. I have lots of great gift ideas like window tint, car stereos, amps, speakers, woofers, wheels and tires, vehicle wraps, and more. The guaranteed lowest prices. Ho, ho, ho. CarStereo1.com. Turtle.
Do you know how safe a Dunn Chevy is? Here is some of the technology Chevy offers. Blind zone alert, automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise, super cruise, and cameras everywhere. Chevys are among the top-rated safest vehicles on the road. What's more precious than your cargo? Find yours at DunnChevy.com. That is a safe done deal. Chevy, find new roads.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Car Stereo 1, Toledo's newest one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Turtle! And by Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Findlay 25, Southview 21. This halftime update brought to you by Appliance Center, Ohio's largest furniture, mattress, and appliance superstore. Brad Woznicki back with Rodney Martin Southview, a 20-13 advantage at the end of one. Micah Bayes had it cooking. 14 of Southview's 20 points. Findlay, 12-0 run in that second quarter, holds Southview without a field goal.
Well, you got to look at Findlay they're not going to change who they are and what they do. So they stuck to how they play. They're very aggressive on the basketball. They defended their end gaps and everything else. And so they're getting deflections. And I said that earlier, that eventually those deflections were turning to points. And so now you got 2 runouts in transition. In addition to them coming down on the offensive end, you got Cordonnier sitting in the sweet spot on the block. He's getting the back door. He's getting the jump hook. And then at the same time, they're reading the pin down screen on the other side, so he's got a chance to go ahead and find the shooters. They're running great stuff, and they're sticking to who they are. As for Southview, Micah had it going. They were getting second chance shots and everything else, but it kind of got stalled. They got to get back to those rhythm of things. But I think that pressure from Findlay kind of got in the Bays a little bit and threw him out of whack. So when you take him out of the game, then they've got to, like we said, where's the next guy going? Where's the next scoring going to come from? So you got to find that.
And from everything you said there and what we witnessed in that first half, Southview's got to start to turn defense into offense.
Yes. They've got to get there. You can tell they've done a really good job of scouting because they're sitting on back doors and everything else. They're rotating on the side out of bounds, so they're sitting there. But they've still got to get their deflections and get out in transition.
It may be a cross-division matchup, but it's got a little bit of that tournament feel to it. We're into the month of January, and one of these two teams coming out of here with a big Friday night win.
This is going to be very, very big. I was excited when I first came out and saw it. I said 6-1, 7-0, state polls coming out soon, and the 2 different styles of play. I was excited about it. I think the second half will be a very good one, though.
We'll have the third quarter coming your way.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And by Sean's Irish Tavern, locally owned and operated. Proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community.
Get the #1 buy from the #1 guy, Dave White Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. His reputation says it all. For the #1 buy from the #1 guy. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's quite a place where titles are won and champions are developed and made year after year. Come discover that special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life. Central to athletics.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
And the BCSN Now app. Southview trying to hand Findlay their first loss of the season, while the Cougars sit at 6-1, looking for what would be a huge momentum and confidence builder for the Cougars if they can get it done here on the road. This is not an easy place to win. Brad Woznicki back with Rodney Martin, and here we go with the third quarter.
They changed up the defense coming out in the second half to a 1-3-1.
Dangerous pass there as Findlay extending that all the way out to near midcourt with Javante Hill.
Now the way you want to attack it is you want to try to get to that bottom guy, but you don't want to jump the pass to get a deflection. Right there, throw it.
Baseline taken away by Cordonnier. 3, Witcher. Rebounded by Hill. His baseball pass up ahead to Ernst. Ernst, 8 points in the first half, 2 threes. Javante Hill, no. Rebounded by Witcher.
Can Southview get something in transition?
They're trying. Carter, opposite look. Bays, one of the best looks he's had tonight, but too much on it. And that is off the leg of Ernst.
Ryrell has him. It's kind of like, it seems to be a little bit under his skin, a little bit because it's physicality and everything else, but Bay should be fine.
Wyra, one of those guys where he's physical and at the same time he's like a gnat.
Yes.
Witcher back out.
That's
a little push there.
Yeah.
Bays. Wyrow trying to stay right in front. Bays does get to the basket. Patience, poise, and the finish there from Bays.
That's what you wanted to see. His composure. Now, here again, we're talking about him. He's matured, you can see, from last year.
16 points for Bays. 14 came in the first quarter. Nice job on the finish. Got the defender in the air. 2 more for Ernst.
Defensive principles, that back door. Cordonnier got on that left block where he likes to sit, so he can go over that left shoulder. Can't ball watch. That's tough. Ooh.
Just over 2 minutes into the third. Hill behind the back.
That's good defense by Carter.
Cordonnier thought he might let it go there. It's going to be Hill instead. Tipped around and tracked down by Ingram. Brandon Ingram does not have numbers. It's going to be a long 2. How about that? His first field goal.
Now, what's crazy is you saw this if you were at the Perrysburg game. You're like, he's very athletic. He plays with confidence. So I was surprised that he didn't play as much against Perrysburg, but I see he's worked his way into the rotation. Ooh, hoping to hurt himself.
Well, he limped a bit in the end of the second quarter on that ankle. Right now, just continuing to play through the pain. And some guys, as you saw that last shot there from Ingram, just more comfortable in that up and down transition game as opposed to operating in the half court.
Exactly. And that's what he does.
I mean, how many of his shots in that first half were face-up threes?
He took 3 of them, but it was off time and space. He wants to get up and down.
Ernst for 3. Caught a break there. That loose ball drew another defender and opened him up.
Those 50-50 balls, they go after.
Findlay, 4 threes. Ingram going to try a 3. Witcher offensive rebound. He's got Bays up top. Banked in by Bays.
Hey, they said the bank was closed. He said, nope, not today.
He's got all 3 of Southview's threes. Montgomery finds Cordonnier. Great find.
Well, they set him up for it. He set the back screen up for it, which meant Witcher had to help on the back screen. So now he absorbed the back screen. Cordonnier just said, okay, now I'm going to pop out and create space. And you've got to come out here to an area where I'm very comfortable.
30-second timeout taken. This timeout brought to you by Genoa Bank. We take your banking needs personally. Well, he's starting to see both teams get in a rhythm offensively. Feels a little bit more like that first quarter.
Yes, it does. And like you said earlier, can Southview start getting deflections? They starting to get their hands on balls and get on the floor and get after a little bit, so it's going to change the pace of the game.
And Dennis Springs has to be happy with the way his guys have handled themselves here on the road so far. A long way to go, quarter and a half, but they are right in this ball game.
In the thick of it.
And Dennis Springs, prior to taking the head coaching job at Southview, was an assistant for Kyle Linehan at Springfield. And of course, you remember Coach Springs as the head coach at Owens. And Powers staying with it, and is blocked by Cordonnier. Multiple blocks tonight for Cordonnier.
Powers should have just gone ahead and showed the ball. Cordonnier would have gone up, and then he'd go ahead and follow up.
A bit of a heat check there for Ernst as Bays races the other way. Bays tossed it up, and he's going to shoot 2. And no offense to Ernst there, but I think Bays was happy not to see Wyra in front of him.
You and I were thinking the exact same thing. He was like...
Southview has a team 5 out of 7 at the line in the first half. Can't get the first to go.
Who else is going to help with the scoring for Southview? You've got Bays already with 19.
Ingram's got 3, Morrow's got 2, Powers 2, and Witcher 2. And 0 for 2 at the line. Montgomery over to Cordonnier. He likes that spot. Couldn't connect there. Rebounded by Bays. And Hill almost knocked it free from behind.
It's a good set by Findlay. Guard screened in. Let Conyers pop out.
Bays with a hand in his face.
You don't want to start settling. You still want to run your sets and get good looks. There's a different style of defense when you're watching Findlay. They're up in your face, pressuring the heck out of the ball. Southview looks a little bit not as trying to figure out how I'm trying to say it, but it's not as intense. Montgomery, that's good. That's good ball pressure.
Morrow goes to the scores table. He'll check in at the next whistle.
Turn, look, Powers.
Good cut. Carter. No.
Use the glass, young fella. Use the glass.
Montgomery from the corner. Backside rebound by Wyrow out to Hill. Ooh, Hill thought about it. It's going to be Cordonnier instead. Big 3. Cordonnier's got 15.
He's a matchup problem right there for those big guys because he can step away from the basket. And he also can still put the ball on the floor.
Opens up the largest lead for Findlay. And with under 2 to play in the third, we're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Southview.
It's one of those games where you're watching Findlay, and here again, the pace, the tempo. It's a Findlay type of game right here in the third.
And they're spacing things out, getting the shots they want.
The backdoor screens. You got the back doors. You got him screening and making the guy help and pop it off for 3. They're screening in for him so he can pop out. He's putting those big guys in the area of the floor where they're not used to. And he's getting a chance to go ahead and knock those down.
Since the start of the second quarter, Findlay has outscored Southview 23-8. You get behind double figures going into the fourth against Findlay, that's not a situation you want to be in.
It is not. Because they will run their stuff. And the defense is not going to change. And they're just going to face guard Bays. Yep. Tyrell's like, no, I have no help responsibilities. I'm just with you.
Carter back over to Ingram. Ingram trying to slip it to Witcher. Wasn't a clean catch. Southview has just not been able to finish.
One of the other guards have to go ahead and start playing because Wyrell's just face guarding Bays now.
Good. Thrown off the back of Wyrow, and they're going to say Bays stepped over the line first.
He did. He did.
So eager when you see that chance.
He saw it and just a little bit more patience. Okay.
Good find up ahead to Cordonnier.
That diagonal.
Ooh, thrown behind Montgomery. And the backcourt, yes.
Now that pressure, that little bit of pressure, you got to put the ball in someone's hands that can handle the ball, but that's not an area where they really want the ball to be. And a horn set to the flare.
Witcher to Carter. Carter's going to get all the way to the rack. His first points.
Good paces, way to run their stuff that time. Out of the horn set.
Zach Carter, his future in football, Ohio Northern and Westminster College, two schools that have offered. As Wyrau gets a great look off the front rim and gets his own miss. Nobody got a body on him.
Got to be aggressive.
Findlay's going to take a little more air out of the ball.
Got to be aware of back doors. It's 5-out spacing. Drive and kick off his leg.
Ooh, that was right in front of the baseline official. Southview fans thinking it should be Cougars basketball. You and I did too. Lobbed into Cordonnier. Guarded by Witcher. Got around him but couldn't get there to finish it. See if Southview can tighten things up going into the fourth.
They went back in that box and won. They're all over Bays.
And we get a Findlay foul.
Yep. Into the box and one. Now if I'm Southview, I may use Bays once he gives it up to set screens because they're not going to help off of him. And, so now you get a chance to get layups because they're not going to leave him.
Witcher and Montgomery away from the basketball, a little pushing and shoving. Down to 3 seconds. Ingram, pull up three. Ooh. Didn't miss it by much. Well, this third quarter very easily could have opened up to a double-digit Findlay lead. Southview trails by a half dozen with 8 minutes to play here on BCSN.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Car Stereo 1, Toledo's newest one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Turtle. And by Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Hi, I'm Marty Sutter, president of Genoa Bank, a locally owned community bank providing a full range of banking services. At Genoa Bank, we believe a bank should do more than just conduct business. We genuinely care about the communities we serve, and we take our hometown commitment to heart. Our biggest investment will always be in you. Whether it's a personal account or business, Genoa Bank is committed to outstanding service. We want to know you by name and help you with all your banking needs. Genoa Bank, we take your banking needs personally.
People used to replace their windows with vinyl, which didn't last. Now, vinyl is being replaced with something scientifically proven to withstand the test of time. Renewal by Anderson's Fibrex material windows. Fibrex material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, beautiful and energy efficient. People love our windows and our exclusive signature service experience, not to mention these incredible savings. Don't miss out on the chance to get beautiful replacement windows at an affordable cost. Call or visit us online today.
6-point ball game, final quarter of play. Great turnout in the Findlay student section as the Trojans have the basketball to start the fourth. That third quarter was the tightest quarter so far, an 11-9 Findlay advantage. Trojans led by as many as 8. Montgomery goes inside. Cordonnier had it knocked away for a moment. Will Cordonnier's got 15 points. One of 2 Trojans in double figures. The other, Sam Ernst, with 13.
That was good defense. Southview came out there.
Speaking of Sam Ernst, had a good look.
Push that ball. Don't let him get set.
Zach Carter handling it.
In the box and one.
Bays right now is being guarded by Ben Best.
Yep.
Ingram, hand in his face on the 3. And Morrow fading away. Ingram on the follow was a bit out of control, never really had his hands on that basketball.
Even within the box and one, you still want to be able to, it's 4-on-4. If you're not going to use Bays to screen, still get downhill. Beat him off the dribble.
And Wyrau's back in. Ernst over to Hill. Javonte Hill hesitated and then said, why not? He's got 9 points and Findlay's 7th 3.
Hands down, man down. I'm letting this go.
Mark Jackson in the house. That was a trio I miss with Van Gundy, Breen, and Jackson.
Ooh.
And underneath, there's a nice finish by Ernst to give him 15. Well, last time out for Findlay, you had a career-high 25 points for Will Cordonnier, 27 points actually. And tonight, it's been a night for Ernst with 15 points. He's almost doubled his season average. Morrow, 3. Outside of Bays, no one else has hit a 3 for Southview tonight.
Ryrell's really giving him pressure, face guarding the whole time in that boxing one, being real physical with him.
Ingram's going to go out. Finley, no problem on that press breaker.
Ooh.
Hill, bounce pass. Morrow got a hand on it. Bays gets on the floor, and he's tied up. This will be Southview basketball. This is danger time right now for the Cougars, down 11.
You talked about it earlier in the game. This is not a team you want to play from behind from. Powell right there. Score.
3. Up ahead, Cordonnier. Off the feed from Hill's going to get a layup. Findlay by a baker's dozen.
Transition defense. Defensive principles. They do a very good job with their heads up, eyes up.
They know where one another's at.
Like the back of their hand.
Morrow, another catch and shoot 3. Buries this one. Southview desperately needed that.
And they need to go ahead and get deflections themselves.
Still double-digit Findlay lead, 5 to play.
He's going to run as much clock as he can. The 5-out offense. Hill wants to get downhill. Backdoor's coming. I feel it.
Trying to get it with Hill, taken away by Morrow. Pump fake, Cordonnier down the lane. Blocked by Powers. Ends up in the hands, though, of Ernst. Could not get it to roll over the iron. Southview got one stop. Can they turn it into points? Bays went right into Ernst, and Ernst got him on the arm.
Powers got to dive hard right there. Go ahead and create an opening so he can get the basketball because they're going to double Bays. Bays is an unselfish young man. He'll give it to him.
Full timeout taken by Findlay. 4:21 to play. See if Southview can get back in this one when we come back.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Find out why Midas has over 100,000 five-star reviews. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Sean's Irish Taverns offer great food and fun in a family sports bar atmosphere. And if you're looking for great burgers, steaks, salads, soups, and pizza, we've got you covered. Watch the biggest games every day with awesome food and drink specials. Looking for a banquet room for special parties? Sean's can take care of you. We're locally owned and operated and are proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community. Stop into any of the Sean's Irish Taverns today. Just sit back and let us serve you.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Find out why Midas has over 100,000 five-star reviews. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Well, Southview students hoping the Cougars can battle back into this one. They were down 13 a moment ago. It's 10 with just over 4 minutes remaining. Findlay trying to stay perfect and move to 8-0. Looking to hand the Cougars their second loss. And into the backcourt, Findlay basketball. And one thing we haven't touched on here, Rodney, is And obviously Southview's coming in here. They want to get this big road win. But no matter what happens here, this doesn't hurt Southview in the Cardinal division.
No, it doesn't. But it's, you still want to go ahead and you're trying to look at a measuring stick. Like, okay, we're 6-1. We're this good, as well as you guys.
Who knows? We could see this matchup again in the postseason. How about that two-hand slam, Javonte Hill?
I told y'all. I said it's a backdoor cover. I was just a couple plays too early.
Bays, back rim on the three. Wyrow leaps for the rebound.
Southview has to string together 3 or 4 stops in a row without letting the clock run so much. That's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Kick.
Hill. About 30 seconds used up on this possession so far.
They'll take the layup, but
Wyrow couldn't finish it. Gets his own miss.
And that's what you can't do, trying to come from behind. Get second chance because you're running off 30 seconds at a pop.
You got Witcher, who is waiting at the scores table, one of Southview's best rebounders. Foul called against Morrow, Southview's second team foul. Carter and Powers go out. Witcher and Ingram in.
Right now, the clock's their enemy. You got to go double it.
Montgomery back to Wyrow.
Man, they move that basketball very well. You got to get up. Yep.
Southview still has to commit 3 more fouls to put Findlay in the bonus.
Is it the bonus? Is it still called the bonus?
Maybe a slight advantage that it's not up to 7 fouls in a situation like this.
Yeah.
3 more for Cordonnier to give him 20 for the ball game, right on his season average.
Drive and kick. You've got to help spacing.
Ingram layup rolls off. Last touched by Southview. And Ingram immediately signals to the bench. He's been battling what appears to be an ankle injury throughout the night. And he is headed to the locker room. Hill, deep 3 to put it away. 14 for Hill, 9 threes for Findlay.
They're a very good team. They share the basketball. They got spacing. They defend very well. They're tough. They run their own stuff. And what I mean by that, they run several different types of sets, miscorrections.
Coach Springs, I think, was hoping to get an official's timeout for an injury when you saw Ingram go off.
Right.
The lead is 18, under 2 to play.
Still in that box and 1. Got to move it. Drive a kick.
Witcher. The stick back.
Got a foul.
Oh, Richard knocked it away. And stepping out of bounds, this will be Southview basketball.
Was that Montgomery stepped out of bounds? You could tell he plays football in the quarterback because he found Hill all the way across court.
Only threw for 3,377 yards this past fall.
Only.
38 touchdowns.
Only.
Where will it be? Will it be Michigan, Georgia, Florida, Penn State, or South Carolina for the young man? Those are his top 5. Now, Findlay, after this one, will continue on battling Sylvania. They've got Northview at home next Friday. Northview currently 5-3. After that game, it'll be another home game when Findlay welcomes in Ottawa-Glandorf. This place will be sold out. Ottawa-Glandorf currently 7-1. Just recently suffered their first loss.
That's a staple name.
Bays. Next up for Southview, they're going to be at Bowser January 9th. That'll be next Tuesday. And then Southview gets back into Cardinal Division play when they take on Napoleon January 12th.
Findlay's a lot better live than what I saw on film today. I mean, you knew they were good, but I'm really impressed with the discipline.
And this is going to be another double-digit win for the Trojans. Their closest margin of victories, as we said coming in, St. Mary's, 9 points, and things were closer in the end in that one than they actually were overall.
And this is the kind of score that Southview wants. They're averaging like 53 points per game, per contest, and so you're holding Findlay to 51 when they're averaging 67. But it also goes back to speak of how great of a defensive team Findlay is.
Well, Findlay's held Southview to 15 points since the end of the first quarter. Bays had 14 of his 19 in that first quarter. Strong performance at home for Findlay. Fell behind at the end of the first, but took control quarters 2, 3, and 4. 51-35, the final. Findlay improves to 8-0. Southview, just their second loss. The Cougars now 6-2. Again, this is a cross-divisional matchup, so it doesn't matter for the Buckeye and Cardinal division. But Findlay continues to show why they are one of the top teams, if not the top team in Division I, Northwest Ohio.
They are a very good ball club.
To tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Car Stereo 1, Toledo's newest one-stop shop for all of your vehicle's needs. Turtle. And Will Cordonnier came into this game averaging 20 points on the night. In this one, he was lethal from distance. Also did a great job, much like this Findlay team did, of just seeing the floor and getting the right shots.
They ran their offense. I mean, he sat on the left block where he can go over his left shoulder if need be. He was running the offense through for the back doors, and then also getting the pin down plays and setting back screens where now Richard had to help, and he pops out for three, and then after he saw a few go in, the basket got real big for him. So, and he did it. He did a great job of defensively. He slided his feet and getting himself in the right position. He had a heck of a game.
Multiple blocks made things tough for Southview to finish in the paint. And Will Cordonnier was one of 3 Southview Cougars in double figures. Think about this: Cordonnier, Javante Hill, and Sam Ernst combined for all but 2 of Findlay's points tonight.
Well, they're a balanced team. You got what is it? Luke averages 9. Cordonnier averages 20, and then Hill averages 17. It's just how you switch the names around for the night.
And Ernst doubled his season average, basically 8 points coming in, 15 on the night.
Yeah.
Look at Micah Bays. He finished with 19 points for the Cougars. No one else on the Southview side had more than 5.
And that's what we were talking about. You know what he's going to give you. Who else can step up and give you some things in times that's needed?
Well, that's going to do it for us here in Findlay, as the Trojans will now turn their attention to Northview a week from now. Southview will get ready for Bowser next Tuesday.